Yeah, so my name is Pablo Lugones. I'm the owner and canning enthusiast behind a small batch jam company here in Pacifica, California. Small batch has been in business now for about 6 years. I have been canning closer to 8. It started as a home hobby. It was more of an interest that just kind of snowballed into what is eventually now my side business. It's a funny story. It starts out with eventually my realizing that I hadn't saved enough for my kids' college education as I thought that I had. And right around that time, I had started playing around with fruit preserving and canning. It really started to become a passion, and coupled that with a number of folks that kept chirping in my ear that this was something that I should follow up on and try to make a business out of it.
Jam making at home is a little bit different when you're considering making in bulk or in large volumes. When you're at home, you've got a lot more controls that allow you to have a little more flexibility. Not that I'm considered myself an industrial manufacturer, but once you get past the hobby scope of home production, jam making is really a chemistry experiment each and every time. You have certain parameters that are always present, but you need to hit certain other parameters. That is what makes it a little challenging, especially when you're using fresh fruit directly from growers. You're going to have different levels of sugar content in the fruit, even within the same crop season. Fruit that tends to be processed at the end of the crop, that's softer, it's going to have a lot more sugar in it versus fruit that still isn't as mature or as ripe and has less sugar. But essentially, the process goes is that I would weigh out how much fruit I have to process. I have my recipes scaled so that I have some flexibility in calculations. So based on the weight of fruit, I then calculate the amount of pectin, lemon juice as the acid, and sugar that I need to add to make the whole operation gel. And you have to make sure that you hit the right pH in order for the pectin to be activated. And once you can it, you cross your fingers, hope that you've done it right, and more often than not, I succeed rather than fail.
For the first few years, it was 100%. Basically, we were only showing in Bay Area art and wine and craft holiday shows, and Millbrae has shown us a great deal of support. You know, I want to say that I was more fortunate than a number of my other food or non-food vendors in that I was quickly able to pivot to focusing a lot more of my sales efforts into our e-commerce website and advertising on social media. 2020 ended up being a positive year for us because we expanded our growth outside of the Bay Area. But as the art and wine and craft show circuit does come back around, we do want to continue being very present in the markets that helped to get us our start. Let's see, Bacchus was one of my original retailers. We were very grateful to by happenstance, being able to come up with that relationship almost right before the first year that we showed. And they did do their part in help marketing us. It also ended up being strategically that we were placed opposite to where they were at the festival, and we had folks mentioning, "Hey, I saw your products at Bacchus at the far end." It goes hand in hand, and I can't say enough good things about that relationship with Bacchus.
I'd say what I absolutely love is the fact that when someone asks me, "Did you make this?" I can look them in the eye and say, "Yes, I did." I can honestly say that every jar or bottle that I sell, I've been the one to personally produce it from fruit all the way to finished product. And then with the help of my wife, we label it and market it by hand. and that's probably my biggest pride and joy of being able to say that I was the one that created this product that then someone gets to enjoy.